All right. Let us get started. Not sure if this is going to work today, but we will see. All right, guys. Let me know in the chat if you can see my screen. Actually, wait, hold on one sec. Let me switch over here. Okay. Guys, what we're going to talk about today is very important. Okay. And let's just do entire screen. All right. Looks like it's working now. All right. Very important video. Let's get started. Guys, if you're working this business, or if you're about to work this business, or you want to work this business, and by this business, I'm talking about surplus funds overages. If you don't know what surplus funds overages are, that is where you are recovering money for people who've lost property to a tax sale or foreclosure, and you get a commission for your efforts, okay? That's how you make money with surplus funds. There's lots more videos, but I'm not going to dive deep into that today. What I want to talk about today is if you're currently working the business, thinking about working the business, or just learning about this business, here's something that I would highly recommend that you do, and that is research, due diligence, okay? How do you succeed with overages and surplus funds? You follow this 5-step process, okay? The 5-step process is as follows. Number 1, you create leads. Step 2 is you conduct research. Step 3 is you contact your leads. Step 4 is you contract your leads. And step 5 is profit. You submit your claim and you get paid, okay? That's the 5-step process, okay? Within each step, there are certain actions you need to take. If you don't know any of those steps, I would encourage you to learn how to accomplish those steps from somebody who has done it successfully. Okay. Now, with that being said, guys, we're going to talk about step 2 today. Conducting research. Research your leads. Okay. When you're researching, there's 2 parts to research, and that is doing title work and skip tracing. We're not going to talk about skip tracing. We're going to talk about title work today. Okay. Title work is simply confirming who is entitled to the money and confirming how much debt is tied to the property. Okay. Just because you see somebody's name on a list and you see that money is owed to them, it doesn't mean they are the only person that's owed that money, okay? And I'm going to walk you through a real life example of how that's not the case. Now, we're going to talk about, well, how do I confirm how do I confirm I've got the right person, or how do I confirm if there's actually an overage? That's what we're going to specifically go through today right now, okay? Is how do you confirm there's money available, okay? Now, let's start with a real life example. This was a deal that was sent to me by somebody who said that they had an overage. They wanted to partner with me on it. Okay. And what we typically do is we'll send out the paperwork and get people signed up. But this one, I did a little bit of quality control, so to speak. And I just did a little more due diligence. And I was like, there's no overage on this deal. Okay, there is no overage on this, therefore we're not going to partner on this. Okay, and I'm sorry. And I made them a specific video walking them through the steps, but I figure I might as well share this with everyone here, because if you are contacting people who don't even have money owed to them, number 1, how much time are you wasting doing that? Number 2, how much money are you wasting because you're contacting somebody, because time is money, right? The time you spend trying to find somebody, trying to contact them who's not even owed money is time that you could have spent actually working a real deal, an actual deal that's going to pay you. Okay. So if you don't know how to confirm debt, if you don't know how to confirm ownership, you are losing money for real. Like you're losing time and you're losing money by chasing deals that aren't even deals. Okay. Do you understand why that's important? Does that make sense? Is that clear? Okay. Why you would want to learn this skill set? I hope that makes sense. So here we've got a property that sold back in October. It sold for $213,000. Okay. Now this person said there was about maybe, I don't know, $40,000 overage. Okay. But here's the thing. There is no money here, and I'm going to show you how. So this is a mortgage overage. Okay. You would want to do this research for both tax and mortgage overages, but mortgage overages especially. What you're going to want to do is you want to know all of the mortgages tied to that property. Okay. Now, there are multiple ways to do this. What you see on your screen is actually a software that I use to kind of speed up the research process. Okay. If you want to know the name of the software and you want to get a free trial to it, I'll post a link in the description of the YouTube video. Okay. It is an affiliate link, FYI. But if it helps you, I'll post it. Okay. Now, right off the bat, what you're looking at here is a history of this property. Okay. On the right-hand side, you see like these are types of documents that were recorded in the county recorder's office. Okay. So you've got loans, loan modification, trustee's deed, all that good stuff. Okay. You have amounts. Okay. This is the deed from the foreclosure. So I know by looking at this property sold for $213,000. Okay. Now it looks like there was a loan mod at one point in time for 182. So if I subtract 182 from 213, there might be an overage there. There could be a potential overage there. Okay. And this loan that got foreclosed on was taken out in 2017. But here's the thing. I know that there is no overage here because of this right here. You see this 48,000 and where it says 2, that's a second mortgage for 48,000. Okay. So for simple math, let's just say that the 182 is what they owed at the time of the foreclosure. I can tell you it was not. It was probably worth more money than that. But for the simple teaching purposes, pull out your calculator and let's just say, okay, 213,000 minus 182,000. Okay, maybe there's a potential overage of 31, but because I see this second mortgage right here, I have to account for this second mortgage. So 48,000 taken out in 2022, the balance is probably pretty close to 48,000. Okay, so if I subtract 48,000, is there an overage here? No, this is a bad deal. This is not a deal to even consider. There's no money for these people, period. Now, if you're simply just utilizing opening bids and closing bids, that's a start, but that's not the only thing you need to do. The opening bid is not going to incorporate liens and second mortgages. Okay. Now, I use a software for this, but one thing that I like about this is you don't have to use a software. You don't have to pay for data. You can do all of this for free. Okay. If I click on this link, I can go to the county recorder's office. I can click on land records. I can do a search for this person, which I already did. And I can pull up all of the records associated with this person. Okay. So let's walk through that now. So this first one right here. Now, if you don't know what these mean, again, that's another, if you don't know what you're looking at, again, I would encourage you to seek out training and education from someone who can teach you what this all is. Hint, hint. But check this out, okay? Now, what you see here, and you probably can't see it, it's probably very small. Let's see if I can zoom in here. That was too much. Okay, this is a substitute trustee's deed. This is the document that is recorded after a foreclosure. Okay, you can even see auction.com, blah, blah, blah. The grantors, this is the name of the people that took out the loan. Okay. You can see when it sold for right down here, October 3rd, 2023, first Tuesday of October. You can see how much it sold for. Okay. You can see who bought it. You can see the address of the property. Okay. Now, so for any of you that have wondered, well, how can I find out what a property sold for? Here you go. Pull up the deed from the tax sale. Pull up the deed from the foreclosure sale. That's how you figure it out. Or if you're advanced and you do what I do, you're actively monitoring these sales so that you know the day it sells how much it sold for. Okay, I teach you how to do that in my training, how you can know what a property sold for the day of the auction. Okay, and I just told you how to do it. You monitor the sales. Okay, you look at the tax sales, you look at the foreclosures in real time. Okay, there's data out there, there's software that can help you accomplish this. I show you all of that in my training. But here's how you find out how much a property sold for. Okay, so once you know what a property sold for, now you work backwards and you say, okay, what debt was associated with this property? Okay, so I like to work backwards and just start from newest to oldest. Okay. So if I go back through here, I can see, okay, 2022, what's this? Modification. What is this? Let's check it out. Okay, so this is a loan modification agreement. Okay. Now I don't have to go, there's 7 pages. I don't have to go through all of this. What I am looking for is I'm looking for amounts. I'm looking for numbers. Now it's going to give me some clues, such as, okay, it looks like the original loan was back in 2017. Here's the original loan amount, okay? Here's the property address, the people that took out the loan. Let's go to page 2. Now, this is really interesting. Here in the first paragraph, it says, as of May 2022, it actually gives me the amount that was owed on this loan. This is the loan that got foreclosed on. Okay, so that could be helpful, right? Because then I could take, okay, I could take what it sold for, which was, what was it again? 213. Yep, 213,000. And this is fairly recent. I mean, this thing sold in October of 2023. So it's a little outdated. But even then, I might just get rid of this deal right off the bat, right? Because I can see, okay, in May of 2022, they owed this much. So if I just use these numbers, subtract that from what it sold for. So 213 minus 182 plus 15 grand in interest. So maybe there was an overage of 14,000. Okay. But for me, I'm not even going to pursue this deal. It's underneath my threshold. I'm not going to pursue something this small personally. You still might, but understand that this also doesn't this doesn't account for attorney's fees as well and costs of the sale. Okay. So that's not even a true number yet. But here's the thing. Let's keep going with our research. Okay. If we keep going, we've got a deed of trust. Okay. Now, what is a deed of trust? Guys, when you buy real estate, and if you're using financing, there's 2 documents. Okay. There are ownership documents, which is like a warranty deed would be an example of a ownership document. A warranty deed transfers ownership of a property to somebody else. So that's the first types of documents. The second types of documents are debt instruments, okay? Examples of debt instruments are mortgages and deeds of trust, okay? So if you see deed of trust, just think mortgage, okay? It's a debt. They took out a debt against the property. Now, this one is interesting because we've got a debt from, I'm not sure when this is taken out. Oh, it says right here, made this 14th day of April, 2022. Okay, so that's pretty recent, for $48,993.08. So this is a second mortgage. Okay. So if I pull up my calculator again, we had maybe an overage of 14 just by subtracting what it sold for minus what we think was owed on the first. But if we subtract this second mortgage, is there any money here? Is this a deal to go after? Should anybody be contacting these people and letting them know, oh, you've got an overage? No, not at all. And if you are, you need to be educated, okay? And you need to become better, right? Here's the thing. You don't get better just for your own purposes. What I mean by that is you don't go and get new skills, new knowledge just for your own sake. You get more skills and knowledge so that you become more valuable to people and you can serve people in a higher manner. Okay. And when you do that, when you increase your knowledge, your skills, your abilities, and you're able to serve people that others can't serve, you get compensated accordingly. You make more money. Okay, which is ultimately why you would do surplus funds, is to make money. But if you're going to make money with surplus funds, you need to have the capability to serve people. And in order to gain that, you need to gain specific skill sets and specific knowledge, such as the skills that I'm showing you right now in this video. This is one of many skills that you need to acquire if you're going to be successful in this business. Okay. Now, if this went over your head, that's okay. You have to start somewhere. There was a point in my career where I couldn't tell you the difference between a mortgage and a deed of trust. Like, hell if I know. Where would I go to find such documents? I didn't know. I had to learn all of these things. Okay. And so, but these are the things I also teach so that you can have success in surplus funds. And of course, the better I teach, the better deals get brought to me. Okay. So I have a beneficial interest in sharing this information with you. All right. Now, I hope that helps, guys. There were a couple points I also wanted to make. Okay. So we went through, okay, how we confirm overages. How do we confirm an overage? Well, look at the debt recorded against the property. Multiple ways to do that. County Recorder's Office. Okay. Also got, you can use third-party websites. Okay. There's a couple that I use. I showed you one. There's another one that I use. But here's the thing with third-party websites, guys. You cannot rely on them 100%. Okay. You cannot rely on third-party data to be completely 100% accurate. Okay. Sometimes they don't show you all the information. The Recorders is the best. However, third-party websites can help you speed up the process. Okay. And that's why I use them, because sometimes by using the data just on like a third party, I can eliminate leads from our list and say, this is not a good deal. This is not a good deal. And I can do it very, very quickly. Okay. So that's why I use third-party websites and not just the Recorder's Office. Saves me time, is the bottom line. Now, that's all for today. Here are a few ways that I can help you be successful with surplus funds. Number one, you could get my training where I teach you the entire process from A to Z so that you can do deals on your own. And if you get stuck, you can partner with me as part of that program. Okay. Go to school.overagecourse.com if you want to learn more about that. If you don't want to join my program, maybe you've gone through another training, okay? A ton of people tell me, Nick, I went through this training. I don't really want to buy another training. Cool, that's fine. But if you need help on a specific deal, maybe you've got a case and maybe you want me to walk through this process for your deal and make sure that you've got the right person, or make sure that there's actually an overage there. If you want me to help you analyze a deal, then join my weekly coaching calls, okay, at surpluscoach.com. And I'll bring a deal to me and I will show you if it's a good deal or not. And I will walk you through the step-by-step process, okay? That's extremely valuable. So those are 2 ways that I can help you, okay? And then, of course, third way is if you want to check out some of the tools that I use, I'll post them in the link of the description of this YouTube video when I post the replay. I don't have the ability I can put the link in the comments, but I can't put it in a description right now. I've got to download this and re-upload it to YouTube, and it's a whole deal. But those are some ways that I can help you guys, okay? That's it. So was that helpful for you guys? Okay. I'll put my course link down, school.overagecourse.com, coaching calls, surpluscoach.com. Okay. Couple ways I can help you. All right. I'm just looking at the comments here. Pete, what's up, man? Long time no see. Good to see you, brother. Pete's the man. Rolando, good question. If you file the claim, the second mortgage company may not come forward. It is possible. Yeah. It's possible that second mortgages can write them off rather than claim the surplus. I mean, this one, I wouldn't even bother. Like this specific deal, I wouldn't even bother, right? Now, let's say that you've got a case where, maybe it's a $200,000 overage, okay? And let's say the first mortgage was $100,000, and there's a second mortgage for $50,000. Okay. Well, there would still be $50K there. So that I would do that deal all day long, because even if the second mortgage comes forward, there's still money going to be left over. Now, if there was a second mortgage for 100, probably wouldn't deal with it. But if you wanted to roll the dice and risk it, you could. Just don't be mad if they do come forward and wipe you out and you don't get any money. So that's the other thing with this, okay? That is the challenge of this business, and that is that every state has different rules, different laws. Every county has different websites that you might have to utilize, okay? And you're going to have to learn those things, okay? No state is the same as another state. And so I recommend, if you are just starting out, focus on one state and maybe a few counties, okay? Because if you try to work multiple states at the same time and you're just getting started, it's going to be very difficult for you to get any traction, okay? Because you're going to be trying to learn different processes for each state, learn all the different databases and county recorders, and it's not going to go well. Speaking from my own experience. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll post the software link in the description of the YouTube video when I upload this video, which will probably be tomorrow. Probably won't be today. I've got a bunch of cases that I have to go through. So, but you guys got this video as a result of me going through those cases, okay? So is this Nick would recommend using a diaper? Not sure. That question is confusing. Oh, a dialer. Yeah, dialer's good. Save you time. When I first started, I just used my phone. If you don't have extra funds for a dialer, use what you got. But if you have access to a dialer, that's cool. The CRM I use has a dialer. So, yeah. Is this model saturated? There is competition in the surplus funds business 100%. Okay. What I call it saturated, I would say the model is saturated once there is no more money to recover for people. When that day comes, then I can say with 100% certainty this market is saturated. But we are far from that. Okay. I also have a different perspective in the fact of, so before I got involved in surplus funds, I was a licensed real estate agent, realtor, and I'd also done some wholesale deals in real estate. And what I found personally is the competition in certain niches, certain markets is bigger than others. And what I mean by that is when I was a realtor, I know for a fact there are over 1,000 licensed realtors in my state alone. So if I'm a realtor in Utah, I get to compete with all of those people. Now, when I was wholesaling, there was a lot less. There were less investors in the state, and specifically wholesalers, maybe 100, 150. So I'm still competing with 100, 150 guys and gals, but that's better than 1,000. When I started doing surplus funds full time, it was less than 10 people that were doing this full time. So was there still competition? 100%, absolutely. But I'd rather compete with 10 than 1,000. So, but there is competition in this business. Here's the thing. If you're not competitive or you don't like to compete, don't start a business for yourself, would be my recommendation. A business is competition. And it's not so much, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be cutthroat and compete against others, but you do have to compete against yourself. You have to find ways to stand out above the rest. You have to find ways to be better, to provide a better service, whatever. You've got to become a better individual. So you've got to compete. If you don't compete, you die in business. So that's sometimes there are days, guys, I wish I had a 9-to-5 job because I've had a 9-to-5 job. And the nice thing about a 9-to-5 is if you show up and you do what you're supposed to do, you get paid. In business, you can do everything you're supposed to do, and there's no guarantee. You can do everything right, and there's no guarantee you're going to get paid. And it's not for everyone. Now, the nice thing about surplus funds, you don't have to do this full time to have success. Okay. If you just want to do a deal here and there, supplement what you already got, this is a great business for that. Okay. So this is a great part-time side hustle, so to speak. I'll post the third-party sites in the replay description, guys, on YouTube. Have I utilized the auction calendar to wholesale if you couldn't help recover the funds? No, I don't do wholesaling anymore. I just focus purely on surplus funds. That's my niche. That's what I'm good at. That's what I focus on. So, and that's just me. Like I'm not a super skilled individual in the fact that I don't have a very high capability of multitasking. I'm not good at splitting my attention. So here's something for you guys. I was very stupid when I started surplus funds full time. And what I mean by that is I left my job. Me and my wife, we sold our house. We had a little cushion. And I was like, okay, I've done surplus funds. I've got my license. I've done wholesaling. I'm going to do all three and I'll be fine. And what ended up happening is I did not have any income for the first 5 months after I quit my job. So, and that, you can imagine how stressful that might be. And that little cushion I had dwindled down very quickly. And it wasn't until I focused 100% of my attention on overages is when I started seeing success. So I try to focus in on what I'm good at. Now, if you have an existing wholesale business or existing real estate business, then it makes sense to add surplus funds into what you're already doing. Okay. Because you already have a rapport with those people. If you're trying to wholesale or buy somebody's house that's going to tax sale or foreclosure, and you're not able to put a deal together, but they have surplus funds, it makes sense that you would offer that service to them because you've already established contact and rapport and all that good stuff. So I don't do that. I just do surplus funds. But if you have an existing real estate business, cool, add surplus funds onto it. So, all right. All right, guys. Hope that helps. I'm going to call it. I got to get back and do the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing. I hope that was valuable for you. I hope you learned something. Again, a couple ways I can help you. Again, I'll share the links that I mentioned for the third-party databases that I use. I'll check back on my YouTube channel. If you're not on the YouTube, I'd suggest you subscribe to it. Subscribe to my email list at overagesyndicate.com. If you want me to look at your deals, do a case analysis, or you have questions and you want to ask me directly in a live format, go to surpluscoach.com. And if you're just starting or want to learn more about mortgage overages or partner with me, check out my course. All right. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you.